Hey guys, so today we're going to do a lesson on trends in graphs. It kind of like is a nice follow up to our unit that we just did in statistics. So we're going to look at different graphs and the different shapes they make and models that they make. A graph is a visual representation of the relationship between two quantities, which we saw in statistics, between the independent and dependent variables. It shows how one quantity changes with respect to the other. The first example I'm going to do, we're going to look at how do we actually describe what's happening in a graph and like what are some of the words that we can use. So describe the relationship shown in each graph. The first one we see says Jack's babysitting earnings. And all I want you to do for this is kind of just tell me what you see is happening. So in this case, as the hours worked increases, the earnings increase. Now you can also talk about how it increases. If you'll notice in this one, since it's a straight line, it's a constant increase. As in, like, it increases by the same amount all the time. That's why we get that nice line. For the second example, amount of a compound interest investment. Now, this one goes up a little bit differently. It does increase as time increases, the amount increases. But notice, you can say in this one, increases slowly at first. And then increases more rapidly. Increases rapidly as time increases. Now we can see that because we have a nice slow climb here, but then after some time it starts to go quickly up there. So this is quick. And this is slow. C. Temperature of a cooling coffee cup. Notice this one's kind of similar, but it goes the other way. So as time increases, the temperature decreases. And you'll notice it drops really fast to start and then slows down. So you can say rapidly at first. And slows down. The last one is a little bit more interesting. We're going to fertilize a field, and we got crop yield and fertilizer used. So it's looking at how much fertilizer we used versus our crop yield. Now you'll notice that it starts high at first, goes up to a maximum, and then comes back down. So you can say rises slowly until a maximum. And then starts to drop slow, then rapidly. And so the rapid part is like down here where it's going like really fast. More slowly up in this part. Okay, so that's kind of what they're looking for in terms of trend. Just tell me what the graph is doing as you go along in the right or towards the right. Now, I just want to come to some vocabulary. Trends, which is what we're looking for, or patterns of change in a graph are often used to justify decisions and make predictions. So I'm going to go to the next example and we'll look at how we can use that trend to make predictions. Okay, so here's an example where we need to describe the trends in a graph. This graph shows the number of births in Ontario from 1945 to 2005. We're going to describe the trends in the graph. So when they talk about describing trends, they're going to use these words: increasing, decreasing, and constant. So increasing is when is the graph going up, decreasing when is it going down, and constant when is it a nice doesn't seem to have any change at all. That would be considered a constant. So if we look at our graph, it is increasing right there. So I'm going to say that increases from 1945 to about 1960. Then what happens? It starts to decrease. So here it's going down. So I will write that decreases from 1960 to about 1975. Then it starts to go back up again. From 1975 to 1985. We're going to decrease again. From 1985 to approximately 1995. And then the last bit, and then almost levels off. Oh, let me fix that. Okay, so those are the kinds of words that we want to use when we're describing the graph. Okay, the more detail you get, the more marks you're going to get for a typical question like this. So when I'm looking at this, I don't want to say, well, it goes up, goes back down, goes up, comes back down, and then like I want you to give a little bit more detail and notice how I gave like the years to kind of more explain what's happening. You could even say, what did it increase to from this number to this number? The more detail, kind of the better, or the more marks you'll get. And the last example, we're going to use the trend to make predictions and justify some of our decisions. A, use the graph to predict the number of Canadians in each age group in 2010. What decisions might the Canadian government make in response to the trends in the graph? So what you're going to do when we're talking about making predictions is you're going to extend the line to where you think it's what's going to happen. So notice this one's going down, so we're going to extend it. That blue one, I'm going to extend it up, and that green one, it's going up but not as much. So what can we say about this graph is that notice how the age 15 and under is going to go down a bit, but the age 60 and over is going to go up. So what you're going to notice is that age 60 and over will become higher than age 15 and under. So what does that mean? That means there's going to be less children, more people who are in the retirement age. Less children. And also notice that age 80 and over is going to go up as well. So I'm just going to make note 80 and over goes up, so you might need more health care. So kind of some things to think about if you were the government and you were looking at this. Where is the age of some of those people, and how does it affect what's happening and who I'm going to like kind of target in terms of my spending and what services I'm going to do. So that's kind of what you need to do. You need to just extend the graph and then make predictions based on that. That's the lesson for today. I'm sorry about the voice. I have a little bit of a cold and it's allergy season. But hopefully you got this. If you have any questions, please let me know. Bye, guys.